Good morning and welcome to our live crafting this morning. Thank you so much for joining me. It is Wednesday the 19th of April. Hurtling through the month, aren't we, yet again. My name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. This week I am focusing on retiring stamp sets and retiring products. Good morning to you, Catherine and Jeanette. Thanks for joining us. If you're watching live, do say hi. It's always nice to know who's watching with us, and if you're watching on replay or catch up, whether that is on Facebook or YouTube. If you have any queries or comments, then just pop them in the comment section. Morning to you, Carol, as well, and Jeanette. So I've got some new products and some retiring products. And each year, or during the season, as our catalogues change over, Stampin' Up retires certain products. Not all of them. Morning, Glenda and Kerry. Good evening to you both. So Stampin' Up retires certain products just because they just can't keep that many products in stock, and we also need to keep refreshing with the seasons and with change. And so about a third of the products are carried over from one catalogue, and then we have a third sort of new products. And obviously an element of those are also retiring, and we have two catalogues that finish at the end of this month. And so what I'm focusing on, certainly for this week and possibly for next, is the retiring products. And the reason I do this is, as a Stampin' Up demonstrator, it's no point me demonstrating products if people can't purchase them. It's nothing more frustrating than showing something and then somebody saying, oh, I'd love to be able to order that, but you can't because it's not necessarily current. Doesn't mean you can't get hold of them. Sometimes you can get hold of them. So from a demonstrator point of view, I only like to show what is available and current. Now, as a customer, obviously that really doesn't matter. You can use these stamps forever. If you've got them and you want to use them, then absolutely do so, even if they are retired. There's no ruling that you can't use those. Obviously, they're just not necessarily current in a catalogue. But from my point of view, I need to be able to show you products that are current and available. Now, we have the new catalogue coming out, so we can look forward to some lovely brand new products. And we have a colour refresh, which means we also have some brand new colours coming in. Hi Kat, thanks for joining us. And so I've got a little bit of a mix, so I am introducing two new colours. Now, Jeanette did suggest that I could do an unboxing of the new products, which I will do. I will try and do that either later today or maybe tomorrow morning. I'll give you notification. So I'm using this cup of tea stamp set. The stamp set is now reduced to £15.40 from £22, and it's a 20-piece stamp set, and it has matching dies. Lots of ideas in the catalogue. I do recommend you keep your catalogues if you have space, because there's lots of ideas that you could translate to obviously different stamp sets that you've got. So if you hadn't got this, but you've got pots, for example, and flowers, you could recreate some of these elements. I do recommend, though, you put a line through it, or I use, obviously for me, retiring lists, because I've marked this one up. So that you're not disappointed if you come to me 2 years down the line trying to order something that is now retired. So I do recommend keep your catalogues for ideas, but maybe put a mark or line through the cover so that you know that not necessarily all of the products are still available. Okay, so let's have a look at colours. We've got a brand new in colour. This is Boho Blue. This is one of the in colours which will be 2023 to 2025. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it? And then we have a returning colour. You may remember this. This was an in colour a few years ago. I want to say 3 years ago, but I haven't looked it up, I have to say. And this is Blueberry Bushel. So I will be introducing all of the new colours. Most of my pre-order was colour based with a few stamp sets. So I will do an unboxing and show you that. So I'm going to use some blues, very traditional for teacups. And I thought this one actually is a bit like a Wedgwood type colour. Wedgwood pottery, that is. So this is the stamp set, cup of tea. It's got 20 stamps in. They're actually larger than the images on the cover. And you've got 2 different style of cups, but they both have a die that cuts them out. You've got assorted leaves and flowers. You've got a little tag for a tea bag or just a general tag. You've got lemons and some nice sentiments and flowers as well. And the dies, oh thank you, 18 to 20. I knew it wasn't that long ago. And then the dies cut out, it cuts out the cup, as you can see. It also cuts out a fancy cup as well, so you can layer those two together. It cuts out that really pretty design, and then it cuts out all the elements from the stamp set. And you've got additional hearts and flowers and a separate lemon, as well as the lemon on the stamp set. So this has got the segments of the lemon, if you like. So I've literally just opened these 2 ink pads this morning, and on the back of the ink pads you'll notice there's some labels if you buy any new ink pads. And if you just lift up this element here, you can take the layer off, and then you're presented with 5 different labels that you can use. So what I do is I put one on the front, and let me just see, I've got a pokey tool here. Let's just pick that up. And this means that if it's in your in a storage container, so the idea with these is you keep them flat like that, don't stand them up on the end or the ink can drain to one end. So with the storage that I've got, this will then be on the front, and there's space to put another one on the back. But also you've got a plain one. So what I'm going to do is, because I use these for classes, is I'm going to put this one on the inside and here, so that customers can see not only which blue it is, obviously, but the name of it. I didn't do a very good job of that, did I? That's better. Okay. And then I could put the plain one on the other side, and then you also have them in French and German, and you can just obviously cut the edges off and just use the blue, or just leave it with the foreign language on. So I'm just going to do the same with this one. So this is Boho Blue, the lighter one, nice soft blue, and then Blueberry Bushel, quite a bright blue. Okay, I find it easier to take that off, otherwise it can just pop up when you least expect it. There we go. Okay, that will do for now. I'll pop the other one in a minute. So let's just do a little bit of stamping on here, and then let's get creating. So this is well used, this stamp set, as you can see, just by the stain. So this is Blueberry Bushel, like so, nice deep blue. And then this is Boho Blue. It's a bit wet. It looks like this one. Oh well, it'll do. It's quite inky, so what I'm actually going to do is move some of the ink to one end. Sometimes they've got just the right amount of ink, and sometimes they've got a little bit too much. So if you find it's you're not getting a crisp image, then just move the ink temporarily. It'll settle back in anyway. There we go. Okay. Yes, there are some lovely new colours. Morning, Fran. Okay, let's get crafting. Enough chatter. So I'm just going to do two cards. One I'm just going to stamp some foliage, and then the other one I'm going to do some teacups with a little bit of masking. So I'm just going to use Boho Blue here on the bottom, and this is the die cut from the Scallop Contours dies, which I'm glad to say are carrying over. So there's the Boho Blue, quite a nice soft blue. Let's pop some foliage in. I did clean my blocks this morning, you'd be pleased to hear. Grab a green. I'll just use Old Olive. It is a difference, and you can see the difference on the ink pad as well. But it will settle back in. So I've got a feeling this needs re-inking. It's so light you can't see it. Okay, let's try Garden Green. It's because my inks are all packed for coffee and card. That's why I'm rootling around trying to find it. I do apologise. Okay, yeah. So this is Garden Green. And I'm just going to put this just on the top of the teacup, like so. And then I'm just going to add some of the flowers in. Now there's a set of flowers that fit an individual flower. So I'm just going to use a combination. So there's the individual flower. And then here's the set. So I'm just going to keep this the same set of colours really. So long since I used it, I can't remember how it went. How daft is that? There we go, got it. I was thinking it was right on the top, but it isn't right on the top. So that's there, and then let's just pop a couple of these. I'm going to do a couple in the darker Blueberry Bushel. So you can see the contrast of the colours. So we've got a lot more blues that have been added. And then let's pop one. Thank you. There we go. Like so. And then let's add a sentiment on there. Let's see if I haven't left myself much room actually. No, I haven't left enough room for that one. I'm going to use this one. Thank you for your friendship. This one here. Because I added those extra flowers, they're a bit taller. Okay, and because this is a very fine sentiment, again I'm going to use a darker colour. So there, thank you for your friendship. And then this has got a little label on as well, so what I'm going to do is just stamp the label. Just got an offcut of what we had yesterday. Oops. Which one I'm going to use? Blueberry Bushel. And there is a die for this, but obviously this is quite easy just to cut out with a pair of snips. And I think what I'm going to do is just put a little flower on there. So this is the Boho Blue, like so. Okay, now I'm just going to cover these up so I don't drop anything in it, and then we'll do a little bit of masking. Okay, let's just snip this out. Like so. And I've got some retiring papers. This is from Sun Prints, but I just thought it was nice with that little sort of patchy blue. And let's just grab card. And let's see, that is most of the size. So yeah, I'm happy with that as it is. Let's pop that on. This has got some lovely deep blues in it, and this, all of the papers are retiring. So if you've got any of your favourites, like the Sun Prints, the teacup papers, I don't know if they're still available, but they're also retiring. I have to say, I checked that the dies and the stamps are still available as of this morning, but I didn't check the papers, I have to say. So just some background paper on there that measures 14.35 by 10, and then I've got my little panel here. It says thank you for your friendship. I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. And the delivery I just had from UPS is my first batch of catalogues. And up till now, as demonstrators, we've only been able to view the catalogue online until they send a a copy of the catalogue to all demonstrators, but they haven't arrived yet. So I'll be glad to actually get a catalogue in my hands and have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this fairly central, slightly higher towards the top than the bottom. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Yes, the papers are cute, and there's also some matching cards and envelopes which are really sweet. Okay, so let's pop this on there, and you could add some baker's twine. Is my baker's twine to hand? That is the question. No. So I'll leave it for now, but I quite like that. Just there. Okay, so there's our first card. So that's very simply just stamping. I just fussy cut that. So just the stamps on their own. You've got to love a bit of blue and white, haven't you? Okay, the next one I'm going to do is going to be some masking. Now let's see what size this is. Just about work. So, and when I opened my pack here, I found a mask that I'd already created from last time. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is stack up some teacups. So I'm going to stamp the first one, and I'm just going to stick to these colours as they're here. So what I might do then is my unboxing at midday today and show you what I have ordered. It's mostly cardstock and inks and things like that, but we do have some new Stampin' Write markers, so I'm really keen to use those. So if you're around at midday today, I'll do my first unboxing, and I do tend to order in batches, and don't forget it is free delivery today for any orders over £60 in the UK. Okay, so I've got Blueberry Bushel here, so I'm going to start just a little way up. I could really do with a mat under here. Okay, so that's Blueberry Bushel, and then it's going to clean that off. Just going to stamp onto here because if it's too wet it will just soak up the next colour. So what I'm going to do is pop my mask on top. So all I've done is stamped onto our masking paper rather, and then cut around the cup, putting that on top, and then I'm going to build that up. So I'm going to switch colour now to Boho Blue. I'm looking because I can see a tiny hair on there, but I think I'll get away with it. Okay, so I'm going to put this at an angle, like so. Just add a little bit more pressure than you might normally because of the masking paper. So when I take that away, it looks like it's inside that one. If I just stamp one on top, you've got the outline. And so I'm going to do the same here. And I'm just positioning the masking paper very slightly short of the edge so I don't get a gap. So Blueberry Bushel and a bit of extra ink. So let's have this one. Like so. So yes, midday I'll be back, as they say. Okay. And then I'm going to add one here. And also you could do these in assorted colours, and you could also just die cut them and tuck one on top of the other as well. Just dry this off. It's getting rather well used, isn't it, this one? And so we're Boho Blue. So lots of just light tapping, even with a new ink pad. And then I'm going to do this one at more of a jaunty angle. And I'm just being careful that the handle is not sort of overlaid too much. There we go. There we are. So just some simple masking. All I needed was one mask, stamp the first one, cover it up, stamp the next one, and then just move the mask up like so. Just cover these up until I've decided what I'm going to do with them. And what I might do is use the little flower to create a decorative border. I think that mask might have seen better days now. So something that was shared by Stampin' Up, and that's just multiple stamps in the corner to build it up. I'm just going to give that a go. Maybe I will just going to try it in this corner before I put it onto there. So this is the Boho Blue. So can you see the effect? Like so. Quite clever actually, isn't it? I mean, I've used stamps in a corner, and I've used stamps coming in from the edge, but that's really quite effective, so let's give it a go. So this is Boho Blue. And obviously the more you stamp, the lighter it gets. Yes, it does actually. That's a really good point. It does look like hydrangea flowers in that corner. And you could use a very small stamp as well. Let's do the same in this corner. And although this is a flower, this could be a leaf shape, it could be anything. There we go. And in fact, if you didn't want the flower element, you could turn this over and just use the back of the stamp. So it was just a sort of area. There we go. Quite like that. That's a new technique to me, in this form anyway. And you could do that all the way around. Okay, let's see what that looks like. So I've got a white card. And what have I got? So I've got some more of this Sun Prints paper. So this is one side. That's quite stunning actually. In my mind, I had this either way. But I think it's too many stripes. So I think this will work because this is just a mixture of colours. There's a specific point in there, there's a Night of Navy, but I think that works quite nicely in the background. Yeah, too many stripes. Yeah, the theory was good, the practice definitely wasn't. Okay, so let's make this 10 centimetres. By 14.35. I might trim my white stamp panel down. Let's have a look, see. So I've got a small border there, about 2.5 millimeters along each side. Yeah, sweet, isn't it, Carol? Okay, so this feels a bit narrower than I would normally have. It was obviously a slight offcut. So what I'm going to do is take just a little bit off the bottom, and also I probably need to ground that cup and put a little sentiment on it, don't I? So let's take off that much. See what that looks like space wise. That's better, isn't it? Okay, now there's a little tag that says it's time for tea, and I think that would be quite nice hanging off the top, wouldn't it? So let's pop this together and then I'll add that. So although this is a cup of tea and I am very much a coffee drinker, I still think it's a really nice set. Now there is another set that has tea, coffee, chocolate and cookies called Nothing's Better Than. That is also retiring. There we go. So I'm trying not to use florals every day. Obviously I have a fair few floral stamp set, but I'm also focused on retiring sets at bargain prices, because I do like my customers to grab a great deal when they can. Okay, so this stamp set has only been around for a year. It was new in the annual catalogue last year, which was last, I want to say June. But it feels like it's been around longer. I don't know why. Okay, so let's stamp the outline in Boho Blue, and I've got It's Time for Tea, because I do have friends that drink tea. So let's just swap that one out. Change ink pad. So I'm liking this Boho Blue. I like Blueberry Bushel, and I prefer it to Pacific Point, which is this much brighter blue. This one here. I very rarely use Pacific Point, so I'm quite glad to see this Blueberry Bushel back. It's Time for Tea. Doesn't matter which way you stamp those. You could do the words first and then the outline, vice versa. Thank you, Jeanette. Yeah, see you at 12. Oh, I do remember that, Kerry. Yes, the cat on the cupcake. Yeah. You can have lots of things popping out of the teacup, can't you? So, yeah, it's a good idea. But any of the animals is good fun, isn't it? The cats from Love Cats sitting on top of the cup would look sweet as well. Love Cats is retiring. That's from our January to April catalogue. Okay, and I really do want to find my baker's twine, so bear with me 1 second. I have to find my glasses. There they are, in order to find my baker's twine. Oh my God. I got some linen thread, that will do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pop that on the back with a dimensional, and I'm going to use that dimensional to hold the twine down. There it is. So just going to pop that on there, pop that on top, like so. It's time for tea. And what you could do actually is there's some other little sentiments, excuse me. So we've got two from Time for Tea, I Can't Thank You Enough, Enjoy, Sweet. So you can have a different message on each cup if you wanted to. Where do we think? I'm going to put it there, like so. And I'm just going to sort of twist it around there, I think. I'm going to add a tiny dot of glue, but you could use a glue dot if you prefer. So, and remember not to use your fingers, but to use some implement so that you're not getting covered in glue, and then transfer that somewhere. That's what I should have done, was a knot. There we go. So just pushing that down to hold it. So, trim it off. There we go. It's time for tea. So very traditional blue and white. But I just think it's a really nice stamp set, and especially if you're a tea drinker. But as Kerry says, no, don't. I think you'd shared, or I'd seen a picture of it, don't worry at all. So you could put in lots of things on top of the teacup, as Kerry says, which is a great idea. There's a cat on a cake, like a cupcake, but also the cat from Love Cats could sit on top. You could have any of the bears or anything sort of stamped behind, so again you could mask it. That would be quite sweet. So loads of different ideas, but I hope you like that. So this is Cup of Tea, retiring at the end of the month, currently still available, and the coordinating dies as well, they are also reduced. These are the teacup dies. So you can view these online if you just go to stampinup.uk and type in teacup in the search bar. You will be able to search for that, or if you want me to order a set for you, I am ordering today, taking advantage of the free postage obviously for later. So there we go, a couple more designs for you from our retiring stamps. Let me just bring them to the screen, and I will see you then at 12 o'clock. So it's 20 to 11, so an hour and 20 minutes time depending on where you are. If you're around at 12 o'clock. So we use that new style of stamping in the corners, which I really like, and you could do this all the way around. You could also mask off with an oval. So we used the fancy florets dies yesterday with the oval, and you could mask off an oval with some masking paper and then do this all the way around and then leave the space in the middle white. I think that would look lovely. I might have a go at that with my coffee. So thank you so much, everybody. There's the first one that we did. Hi Diane, thanks for joining us. I hope you are well. Okay, Kerry, thank you. So just to let you know that I will be revealing my pre-order products at 12 o'clock. So if you're around at midday and want to join me, if not, you can watch it on catch up. So that'll be introducing more new colours. These are two of our newest colours, Blueberry Bushel, which is returning, and Boho Blue, which is a brand new one. Very sort of Wedgwoody blue in my opinion. So this is what we've created today with the teacup stamp set that's retiring, and I look forward to catching up with some of you at midday. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, bless you, Dan. Well, you can watch the catch up almost straight away. It's good to be able to chat to your mum, so that's no trouble at all. You can always watch me later, and I look forward to catching up with some of you at 12 o'clock. Now I'm going to go and grab a catalogue and a cup of coffee, and I'll probably be there until I do the unboxing at 12. So thank you so much, everybody. Do take care, and I look forward to catching up with you later. Thank you so much. Bye for now.